Hi, I'm your host, Chelsea Tabor, and I'm here to welcome you to this edition of the Rutherford County Magazine. First, we'll visit the new Probation and Recovery Services building, which recently moved from this building behind me to a much larger one that offers new services to our citizens within the Recovery Court. Next, we'll talk with the new Director of Schools about what to expect in the next few years with his leadership within the Rutherford County school system. So sit back and enjoy this edition of the Rutherford County Magazine. Recently, we got the opportunity to talk with Ernest Burgess and Trey King about how they were able to locate and acquire this new building to be the home of the Probation and Recovery Services for the county.
Well, these programs that we have for recovery of our inmates that have done some things that are inappropriate and they're now getting to serve their sentence, you might say, by participating in an active treatment program with us while they're out still working and coming to visit with us and all that. That program has grown and grown since I've been here from the DUI court to 3 other courts. Now in the course of that, managing all that, it takes additional staff and it takes additional funding. And we've been very, very fortunate over the years to get some additional funding through some grants that work through the federal government, then through the state government. They sort of manage these for us. But along with those grants comes the requirements to have people. And the location that we were in previously in the old health department building simply had extremely limited space. So a couple of our recent grants, we weren't really able to fully execute those grants until we got space to sit a person in. We had multiple people in every little place we could find over there. So it became really, really important to find enough space to hire the people that we need with the skills that we need to provide these services. Because what we're doing to help people grow them and repair them and prepare them for future success in their lives just deserved having the staff available to do this for them. So that's what sort of prompted this discussion regarding we must have some more space. There really just wasn't anything close proximity with respect to downtown that had enough space and was arranged in such a way that could be, we could make that possible and practical. And the cost of it was, if we had found it, probably wouldn't have been able for us to afford that. So it took us a while to find a space that we thought might work just for this. The building is just a building. It just happens to be that it was a previously used medical office building with a substantial number of exam rooms and treatment rooms and group rooms, etc., that lends itself beautifully to having converting those to office spaces. And so it's just a tool in the process of all of this, but it makes our process a lot more workable together, and our whole staff has a lot better feeling, I think, about the functionality of it, and they have some of their own space. It's not so much shared space, and it's not so much overlap and interlap, and we need privacy in all of these kinds of discussions.
The benefit of this new building for the Rutherford County Recovery Courts allows us to expand our services to offer additional intensive outpatient type of counseling and other therapeutic services to our clients, as well as it gives us the space to house all of our staffing. We moved from a little over 3,000 square feet to almost 11,000 square feet. This also allows us to have an acute detox clinic, which is a regular acupuncture for our clients. Is something that we've never had before. Some of the other added services and new services that this building provides us outside of the acupuncture, the acute detox element, is this allows us to have 7 different treatment groups going at any given point. With this additional space, before we only had 2 to 3 group rooms that we were able to use. This allows us to almost double that. So it allows us to add additional therapeutic type of classes and counseling that we weren't able to provide before.
Well, it's an extension of our court services. instead of going before a judge, and most of these people have already been before a judge for something that they did that was inappropriate, and they've been sentenced, and they may even be actually, before they get into our recovery court programs, they may even actually be in jail or in the work center or what have you. But anyway, they have, through a very, I guess you could say, intense screening process, we have determined which ones of those folks have really some real sincere desire to do this and probably a great likelihood of being successful. So we go through all of that, and the judge and our review team that we have within the recovery court, staff people there will make these determinations. And this gives them an opportunity. Then they still have to meet with a judge on a routine basis. I think most of them at least are giving some sort of report monthly. So they're engaging and interacting with the judges even more than they do typically, in that this gives them, but they are following up, and we're being sure they're staying on track. And sometimes they slip a little bit and not exactly where they should be, and they have to sort of regroup and restart. But all of that gives a more personal kind of, I think, interaction within the judges, and makes the whole process better. And it's just what we're out is looking for is outcomes that prove that these people have been sincere in what they want to do, and it's going to make a real difference. It's all about reshaping lives, saving lives if we can, one at a time.
The Rutherford County Recovery Court services are available to those individuals that have a active, ongoing criminal case, and they're able to make application to our program, and we do a full psychosocial assessment to determine if they have a substance abuse and/or mental health issue. And if that does indicate that they have a substance abuse or mental health issue, they have a current criminal charge, then these services are available to those individuals.
Well, I'd like to say this, even if we weren't having these grants, and at some point maybe we don't get the grants, I want to encourage everyone to see the importance of what we're doing here. And if it at some point takes a bit of dollars from our county general funds to provide this, I think it's money very, very well spent, and I want to encourage us to not let up on this process. We've now got more than 150 people participating in this, and our success rate is extraordinarily better than the success rate for not doing something. We do not need to keep recycling these people back into our judicial system, back into our jails. We must, just for the right reason, do it, but I think it's going to benefit us forever when we can make people productive and good citizens.
I would like for the citizens of Rutherford County to understand that we are very appreciative of this new facility that we have here in Rutherford County. This will allow us to help alleviate the added growth in the county, to enhance our services, so to speak, as well as to tackle and take on more participants that are involved in the justice system that need treatment of either substance abuse or mental health that we were not able to handle before.
That was a great topic on the new Recovery Services building. Now let's move on to our next topic, where we talk with the Rutherford County's newest Director of Schools, Bill Spurlock.
You know, it's been a learning process. I'd had the luxury of spending the last month of Mr. Oldham's tenure here, working with him, and I have been through the Tennessee School Board Association Superintendent's Academy, which prepared me for some of the information that I had to be knowledgeable on. You know, if you look at what the state says we are to do is prepare students for college and career readiness. That career readiness is one of the things that we probably, as a state, have been a little bit slow in doing. And what we are attempting to do is all of our career and technical education courses that we have in our county, we would like for them to have dual enrollment opportunities where students can not only get high school credit, but also college credit, or perhaps maybe programs where they can get a certification and they can come out and get a job that is can provide them with a standard of living. Those internships are available, that we can do articulation with different businesses, and those internships can be available. And these are the things that we want to pursue by partnering with TCAT, which is the Tennessee College of Applied Technology here in Murfreesboro. And those are the things we want to do. Well, one of the things that we do know is growth is here, and it's not slowing down. We are currently the 4th largest district in the state of Tennessee. I think there's not one size fits all. We have to look at all aspects. Are we maximizing our space? Can we add on to some of our schools? That's another option. But when you get in a situation like we currently are, we're experiencing a tremendous amount of growth. There will be times where we do have to build schools. I mean, that's just a given. But I think before you do all those things, you make sure that you are maximizing your space efficiently. And, one of the things that's a major challenge is this thing called rezoning. And I understand that, and I do understand, when parents are concerned about that. But one of the things we want to do, our ultimate goal is get students out of portables. And it's very important for us, and it's a challenge. But I think with everyone working together to make sure that we are addressing our needs in an efficient and effective way, this can be accomplished. Well, we're opening up Rockvale High School and Rocky Fork Elementary next year, and we are looking at our needs in the western end of the county. That's one of our in our 5-year plan, and also out in the northern end, the northwest end of the county that we're looking at. And as far as our building plans, we're always evaluating those. It's not that easy to pinpoint where growth is going to take place. We do stay, pretty much locked in with our planning commissions, knowing where residential areas are going to be growing as much as possible. But sometimes, from time to time, we look at it frequently and we may slightly adjust it. But currently, what you've read, this is what we're heading toward. I think our safety is on a #1 priority. Toward the end of this last school year, there was an extensive survey, an extensive evaluation of all of our campus in terms of safety needs, whether we were on point or whether we had some issues. And what we've done, we've collected this data, and we are putting together a plan to address those, starting with the highest priority and working our way down. Now, this is a process that's going to take some time. It's being funded. We'll get a certain amount of funding from the state, which we will also add from our capital outlay, some additional funding, and we'll start that first stage. Now, after that, we'll get some reoccurring funding from the state. What we will do, and that's what we're doing, is we're looking at the consistent issues that are problematic throughout the county, and we're addressing those as we go forward. One of the things is I'm a product of the Rutherford County school system. I have children that graduated the Rutherford County school system and actually are working in the Rutherford County school system. And I actually have a grandson who'll be entering here this fall. So I'm vested in Rutherford County. I think it's a tremendous community. It has been a great community and a great educational system, and there's a lot of things that are in close proximity. But one of the things we're going to be doing differently this fall, starting this fall, we're going to have like town hall meetings throughout our district, and we'll be engaging our parents and informing them and listening to them. Listening to them, what are the things that we're doing well, and getting feedback on things that we can improve upon, because we want them to be our partners. They are part of the process of educating the child, and we want to bring them back in. We want to make sure that they understand that they are our partner, and we want to listen to them. And once you get that, you can accomplish great things, and that's our goal.
Thanks to Ernest Burgess, Trey King, and Bill Spurlock for making this episode possible. If you would like to know more about the Rutherford County government, please visit us at www.rutherfordcountytn.gov. Thanks for watching.